You've probably met her, the woman who made you feel like you were finally enough, until every moment with her became a test you couldn't pass. You started doubting yourself, losing sleep, losing focus, losing control. And you still can't explain how she did it. The truth is, there are 8 types of women built to make men chase, overgive, and eventually break. They don't ruin you overnight. They do it slowly, softly, until you forget who you were before them. In this video, I'll walk you through every one of them, what they look like, how they think, and how to recognize the danger before it begins. There's something no one tells men about relationships. Manipulation rarely looks like manipulation. It looks like affection, like vulnerability, like someone who just needs a little help. That's how you get hooked. Not through deceit, but through empathy. And the more you care, the deeper she goes. This video isn't about women versus men. It's about seeing the invisible patterns that keep men stuck in emotional quicksand. Because once you understand what's really happening, you can't be played again. If you're ready to see what most men never notice, hit like and subscribe. You're about to gain clarity that changes everything. Tell me in the comments, do you believe manipulation always starts with intention, or can it be unconscious? Keep watching. Because the first kind of woman we'll uncover hides her control behind something every man misunderstands as love. Number 1. The spendthrift. She doesn't love you. She loves the feeling of spending your money. You'll meet her when you're doing well enough to stand on your own feet, but still trying to build something solid. She'll appear fascinated by your drive, your plans, your ambition. But soon, you'll notice something subtle. Her affection grows only when you're spending. A dinner, a trip, a little surprise that always turns into a statement piece. Every moment of connection comes with a price tag. Spendthrift women speak the language of money as a tool of validation. In their minds, love is not a bond, it's a transaction that must constantly prove itself through gifts, indulgence, and upgrades. They don't say, "I care for you." They say, "If you cared, you would." And each time you comply, you unknowingly step deeper into her design. A cycle of guilt and reward that makes you equate generosity with worth. At first, you tell yourself it's normal. After all, you want to give to make her happy. But giving becomes expectation. Expectation becomes pressure. And pressure becomes resentment. She will not stop. Because it's never about the object, it's about control. The spendthrift tests your limits to measure your devotion. Every time you say yes, you teach her how far she can push. You'll start to feel it. That silent dread when your phone buzzes with her message, knowing it means another little thing she really needs. Your love becomes a financial treadmill. You run, you pay, but you never move forward. Here's the truth most men learn too late. A woman who only knows how to receive will never know how to value. She doesn't want a partner, she wants an ATM with emotions. And when the account runs dry, financially or emotionally, she'll simply move on to the next source of love. When a woman's affection depends on what you give, not who you are, you're not in love. You're being drained. Slowly, quietly, completely. And number 2, the liar. Every lie, no matter how small, leaves a scar. And the worst kind of liar isn't the one who invents stories. It's the one who bends reality just enough to make you question your own. At first, she seems honest. She shares little confessions to appear transparent. Stories about her past, her crazy ex, the struggles she's finally over. But you'll start to notice details that don't align. Timelines shift, stories change. You'll catch her contradicting herself, and when you point it out, she'll laugh, accuse you of overthinking, or worse, make you feel guilty for noticing. That's how the trust assassin operates. She kills your confidence one doubt at a time. You start wondering if you're too sensitive, too paranoid, too demanding. Meanwhile, she hides behind charm and emotional appeal, mastering the art of the half-truth. She'll tell you enough to sound sincere, but never the full picture, because full honesty removes her control. A relationship built on half-truths becomes a battlefield of confusion. You'll start checking her words against her actions, her phone against her promises, and each time you confront her, she'll shift the spotlight. Suddenly, it's your fault for not trusting her. You'll apologize, not because you're wrong, but because you're tired. That's how lies work. They don't explode, they erode. And when you realize you can't tell what's real anymore, it's already too late. You've been emotionally disarmed. The liar thrives in your uncertainty. She knows that as long as you're busy doubting yourself, you won't question her. She doesn't crave love. She craves control over your perception. If you ever find yourself rewriting your memories to make her story make sense, stop. Truth doesn't need your defense. A woman who values honesty won't make you feel insane for asking for it. If you start doubting your memory more than her story, walk away. Because when trust dies, love doesn't die with it. It turns into fear. And living in fear of the person you love isn't romance. It's slow emotional suicide. Number 3, the chronic flirt. She walks into a room, and instantly it tilts toward her. The laughter gets louder, the eyes follow, and she glows brighter in the spotlight. You think it's charm, at first, but soon you realize she's not connecting with people, she's collecting reactions. A woman addicted to attention isn't flirting with others because she wants them. She's flirting because she needs to feel wanted. Every smile she gets is a drop of dopamine, a hit of reassurance that she's still desirable. And when you're the man in her life, you're not her partner. You're her anchor of supply, the one expected to keep feeding that need. She'll call it harmless. She'll tell you, "I'm just friendly." But deep down, she knows the power it gives her. The glances, the compliments, the lingering messages, they keep her ego inflated. It's not about betrayal in the physical sense, it's emotional gambling. She bets your peace of mind against her momentary high. You'll feel it. That tension in your chest when she laughs too long at another man's joke. The way you start questioning whether you're being jealous or just observant. But that's the trap. You begin to police your own discomfort, convincing yourself you're overreacting. Meanwhile, she keeps feeding on the validation around her, acting shocked when you finally confront her. The chronic flirt doesn't cheat because she's tempted. She cheats because she's empty. She needs admiration to fill the silence of her own insecurity. And when she stops getting it from you, she'll look elsewhere, not out of malice, but out of habit. You can't love someone who uses attention as oxygen. You'll never give enough because she doesn't want your affection, she wants everyone's. And no matter how hard you try, you'll always be competing with the world. A woman who needs constant validation will never be loyal. Not because she cheats, but because she's addicted to attention. Love should bring peace. But with her, love feels like a performance you're always one applause away from losing. Number 4, the materialistic woman. With her, love is never about connection. It's about conversion. Every moment, every gesture, every conversation eventually circles back to value. Not emotional value, but material worth. She doesn't ask how your day was. She asks how much your day made. You'll notice it early, but mistake it for ambition. She'll talk about standards, security, and comfort. Words that sound reasonable until you realize they're all synonyms for money. To her, affection is a form of currency, and relationships are marketplaces. You pay in effort, time, and gifts. She repays you in attention, intimacy, and temporary warmth. It's a trade, not a bond. The danger with women like this isn't their greed, it's their emptiness. They measure love in possessions because they've never felt anything deeper. When they say, "I just want to feel safe," what they really mean is, "I want guarantees." And guarantees, in their world, are bought, not built. She'll praise you when you give and withdraw when you don't. Her moods fluctuate with your wallet. When you're generous, she's affectionate. When you slow down, she turns cold. The warmth you thought was love is conditional, powered by transaction, not connection. What makes it worse is how easy it is to fall for. Because giving feels good. It feeds your instinct to provide. You'll think you're showing love, but what you're really doing is paying rent in someone else's illusion of security. Over time, you'll sense the hollowness, the silence after a gift is unwrapped, the lack of gratitude that follows your efforts. You'll start to realize that no amount of money can buy the one thing she's incapable of giving: emotional reciprocity. You can't buy love, but she'll make you believe you can, until your wallet is empty and your soul follows. When a woman values things over people, she will eventually trade you for a better offer. Because in her world, love isn't sacred, it's negotiable. And you're just the current bid. The awakening comes when you finally stop trying to prove your worth through what you can give. Because real connection doesn't come with receipts, it comes with respect. Number 5. The what's mine is mine type. You'll recognize her by how quickly everything becomes about her. Her needs, her plans, her comfort. She might call it independence, but what it really is selfishness dressed up as self-love. At first, it's refreshing. She seems confident, assertive, strong. But once you get close, that confidence turns into territory. Every part of your relationship exists to serve her. This kind of woman believes in equality, as long as she's winning. She'll expect your time, your effort, your loyalty, and your emotional support. But when it's her turn to reciprocate, she suddenly becomes too busy, too tired, or not good at expressing emotions. You'll start giving more, just to keep the peace. And without realizing it, you'll find yourself in a one-way relationship, where compromise only flows in one direction. She'll use guilt as her currency. If you ever ask for something back, attention, empathy, or simply balance, she'll twist it into selfishness on your part. "Why can't you just support me?" she'll say, while never noticing that you've been doing exactly that all along. The more you give, the more invisible you become. Your kindness doesn't inspire her, it enables her. Soon, you'll be walking on eggshells, trying not to disrupt her comfort. You'll apologize for being tired. You'll justify her coldness. You'll convince yourself that maybe this is what maturity looks like. Two people focusing on their own needs. But deep down, you'll know you're slowly disappearing. Love cannot survive when one person is always taking and never giving. It suffocates under imbalance. And with her, imbalance is the foundation. She doesn't want partnership. She wants submission disguised as devotion. You'll feel the exhaustion long before you admit it. That quiet ache of knowing you're investing in something that gives you nothing back. And one day, it will click. This isn't love. It's servitude. Love can't breathe when it's one-sided. And with her, it always is. When you finally stop feeding her sense of entitlement, she'll call you selfish. Let her. Because in truth, you've just remembered how to protect your own peace. Number 6, the insecure woman. At first, her need for reassurance feels sweet, even flattering. She wants to know where you are, who you're with, what you're doing. You tell yourself it's because she cares. But soon, you'll notice it's not curiosity. It's control. Every question hides a fear. Every fear becomes a rule. And every rule quietly reshapes your life. The insecure woman doesn't build walls to keep others out. She builds cages to keep you in. Her mind is a battlefield of comparisons. Every woman she sees is a threat. Every compliment you give is a potential betrayal. You'll start defending yourself for things you haven't done, apologizing for feelings you've never had. She'll say, "I just need to feel secure." But what she really means is, "I need you to shrink so I can breathe." Her love comes with surveillance. She'll scroll through your phone, dissect your messages, monitor your tone. When you reassure her, she'll calm down for a moment. But the peace never lasts, because insecurity can't be satisfied. It only resets. What she seeks isn't truth. It's control over her anxiety, and she'll use your loyalty as the cure. What begins as tenderness soon becomes tension. You'll feel the air grow heavy around her questions. You'll start hesitating before answering your phone, not because you're hiding anything, but because you know she'll read meaning into every pause. Slowly, your world narrows until all that matters is keeping her calm. That's not love. That's captivity. Here's the painful truth. You can't fix someone's insecurity by proving your innocence. Because the problem isn't your actions, it's her fear. And no amount of love can heal a mind that feeds on doubt. You'll try to save her, to show her she's safe. But she'll only pull you deeper into her storm. Until one day, you'll realize you've become her evidence, not her partner. You can't save someone who's drowning in their own fear. They'll only pull you under. When love becomes a constant defense, you're no longer in a relationship. You're serving a sentence. And the only way out is to stop apologizing for things you didn't do and start reclaiming your peace. Number 7, the narcissist. She shines so bright at first that you mistake her glow for warmth. Everything about her feels magnetic. Her confidence, her presence, the way she makes you feel seen. But what you don't realize is that she's not looking at you. She's looking through you to admire her own reflection in your eyes. The narcissistic woman doesn't fall in love. She recruits. You're not her partner. You're her audience. She needs admiration the way others need oxygen. Every compliment, every act of attention, every moment you spend worshipping her, it feeds her sense of superiority. And the moment you stop clapping, she starts to crumble. That's when the cruelty begins. She'll belittle you with precision, then follow it with praise just sharp enough to keep you hooked. One minute you're her hero, the next you're her disappointment. It's not random. It's design. The constant shift between affection and rejection creates confusion, and confusion keeps you obedient. The mirror queen thrives on the illusion of power. She'll always compare, always compete, always demand that the spotlight stays on her. And when you try to talk about your needs, she'll make it about herself. You'll start apologizing for existing outside her narrative. She doesn't destroy you out of hate. She does it to keep her reflection clean. Because in her world, vulnerability is weakness and empathy is leverage. She'll borrow your emotions, twist them into proof of her dominance, and leave you questioning whether the problem was ever her at all. The hardest part isn't losing her. It's losing the version of yourself you became to keep her happy. You stop recognizing the man in the mirror because every piece of him has been rewritten to fit her fantasy. When you finally break free, she'll say you changed. She'll tell her story to make you the villain, because a narcissist can't exist without one. Let her talk. Let her rewrite. Because the moment you stop fighting to be understood, you win. She was never in love with you. She was in love with the reflection of herself she saw in your devotion. And when that mirror cracked, so did her illusion of control. Number 8, the I'm not ready woman. She'll look you in the eyes, smile softly, and say the words that trap more men than any lie ever could. I'm just not ready. It sounds gentle, even honest. But underneath that softness lies something cold. A refusal to commit. wrapped in emotional ambiguity. She wants the closeness of love, but not the responsibility. She wants your attention, but not your presence. She wants the feeling of being wanted, without ever having to choose. At first, you'll believe her. You'll think she just needs time. You'll wait, you'll prove, you'll hope. You'll tell yourself that if you're patient enough, loyal enough, or understanding enough, she'll come around. But she won't. Because the truth is, she's not waiting to be ready. She's waiting to feel something she doesn't feel for you. She'll keep you in emotional limbo, not cruelly, but conveniently. You'll be the safety net she returns to when the world disappoints her. The emotional placeholder she leans on until someone else sparks her excitement again. And when that happens, she'll drift away with a line as vague as her promise. I just need to figure myself out. You'll blame yourself. You'll replay conversations, searching for the moment you pushed too hard. But here's the truth. Her indecision isn't your failure. It's her clarity. She's already decided. She just doesn't have the courage to say it outright. You'll realize something powerful the day you stop waiting. Readiness isn't timing. It's intention. When someone wants you, you'll know. There will be no confusion, no hesitation, no maybe someday. Because real love doesn't stall. It moves. If she's not ready for love, don't wait. Because what she's really not ready for is you. You don't need to convince anyone to choose you. Waiting for someone who's undecided is just another way of teaching yourself you're not enough. Walk away, not out of anger, but out of respect for your own time, your own energy, and your own worth. Because every maybe you accept delays the life you truly deserve. You've just met 8 kinds of women, but in truth they all wear the same mask. They feed off your uncertainty, your willingness to explain, your hope that love will change them. And while each of them plays a different role, the spender, the liar, the flirt, the queen, the prisoner, the mirror, the maybe, they all have one thing in common. They take until there's nothing left of you to give. What you lose in these relationships isn't just money or time or pride. It's your sense of peace. It's that quiet strength that used to make you decisive, grounded, sure of yourself. Every encounter chips away at it, not all at once, but piece by piece, until one day you look in the mirror and realize you've been living as a reaction to someone else's emotions. That's the moment men wake up. The realization that love, at its best, should build you, not bleed you. That affection without respect is just manipulation in disguise. That giving endlessly doesn't make you noble, it makes you numb. You don't owe anyone your peace. You don't need to prove you're enough. You don't have to rescue someone from their own chaos just to feel valuable. The moment you stop chasing what hurts you, you start healing from what broke you. If this video opened your eyes even a little, don't scroll away. Stay sharp. Subscribe. Share it with a man who needs to hear this. And never let another woman use your emotions as her playground. Because awareness is protection. And protection is power. Real strength isn't in loving harder. It's in knowing when to stop trying to fix what's meant to teach you. And real power? It isn't in holding on. It's in knowing when to walk away.